This week, we're asking the 6 questions to author Harold Phifer, and we talked about the business of writing, his interesting way of breaking writer's block, and scams in the publishing industry. Stay tuned to find out more of what Demand does. DJ Prime, play the music. Welcome to Demand Does, your nerd space safe place. I am Demand, father of two, husband of one, and leader of this here Demodcast. My next guest, honestly, is a perfect example of why I started this show. His life has taken him from Mississippi to being an air traffic controller to spending time in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now he's with us as an accomplished author. Ladies and gentlemen, or wherever you fit on the non-binary spectrum, please give it up for Harold Phifer!
How you doing? How you doing, guys? I'm glad to be here. I am Harold Phifer, and I'm the author of a book of A Fool Indeed, under my pen name Dean Conan. And in this book, it's all about loyalty, deceit, infidelity, backstabbing, it's murder. But all in all, it's going to entertain you, and all the more there's a story, and there's a lot you're going to get from it, and it's going to incite you, titillate you, and make you think.
All those things are true, and he's not paying me to say this. Although, full disclosure, I did get a copy to review, and that review will be up as soon as I'm done with it. I'm a notoriously slow reader. I'm doing the best I can, but I've been enjoying it so far. I'm about halfway done. And and in the middle of it, I'm kind of mad at you, sir, because in the middle of it, I began, wait a minute, why do I feel like I'm missing some context? And I'm looking like, oh, this is the second in a series. I shake my fist in phony anger at you, sir.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Mostly because it's a testament to your writing. I'm just playing around because
Okay.
it's a testament to your writing because I really want to. Some of the characters some of these things that have happened in the previous story. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go back and read and find out what happened because I actually care. So so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Now, where would you like to be found on the internet?
You can find me on my website, riseandread.com. Like get up and read, riseandread.com. Also, on my Instagram and Facebook, I'm at Harold Phifer 2024. And of course, I'm at X. But really want to see some of the content, Harold Phifer, YouTube it, or you can go to TikTok. It's He at He Phifer 6. That's Hotel Echo Papa Hotel India Foxtrot Echo Romeo 6. HEPHIFER 6 on TikTok. And you see a lot of my content, a lot of the little trailers, a bunch more interviews. That's me either under Harold Phifer or under Dean Conan.
How did you decide on that to be your pen name for this series of books?
God, my brother who passed away about 30 years ago. Middle name was Dean. So it's a way of kind of honoring him. And Conan, I just kind of pull out of the air, put together Dean Conan. And I wanted to be different than my name. That initially I didn't want people to really put the two together. Harold Pike and Dean Conan was one and the same. But since I'm not popular, I kind of go ahead and disclose it. Like, yeah, we want the same guy. It just on the Dean Conan, I write fiction, and on the Harold Phifer, more genuine, original stuff.
Gotcha.
But you brought up something earlier about missing parts of the book. The original book, Fool Me Thrice, Money Changing Everything. I tease people. I say it's kind of a man's man warped idea of romance. And all the things, the locker room talk, all the things that, you men gawk and talk about women, kind of in that book. And not necessarily proud of it, but it's just the way I put it together to tell a story. And the main character, Charlie Moe, he loses it all in the first book. He meets this boss tin can. They all worked at the sanitation department, and he get kind of spoiler alert a little bit. He get taken in the end. That brings you to the new book, A Fool Indeed. He's out for revenge, out to try to recapture his money. And the main gist of the story, if you go looking for trouble, trouble will find you. Well, trouble finds Charlie Moe, and it won't let him go.
And there's a lot more going on, but we'll get into that.
Yes,
You gotta go. You gotta go buy the book. Harold Phifer, are you ready to answer the 6 questions?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. When did you know you wanted to be a writer? And I'm going to add an addendum to this because I remember reading that this was a thing that kind of happened in high school. Is there a specific story? That's kind of what I'm looking for.
My nonfiction, like I said, I've written a couple of books. The first one was Surviving Chaos, how I found peace at the beach bar. It took me like 40 years to write that book. And but I kind of realized back in high school when I was about 14, yeah, I can, I can create stories. But this first one I wrote was about my life, which is like surviving chaos, how I found peace at a beach bar. But after I wrote it, I was like, well, I got some weird stuff I can write and totally different from that original book. It was always there. I tell people, I say, my brother was suave, nice looking guy, you know, and all his friends were suave, nice looking guy. So I was like 3 years young. I go visit him and all that. And I noticed all these girlfriends they all had and kind of their little game. And so I kind of pulled from watching them and put the books together.
Question number 2. What do you wish you had known when you first started out?
Ooh, this is kind of the business side. A lot marketing is tough. Take a lot of energy, a lot of time. You got to find ways to get it all. Try to connect. It's far tougher than writing the book, which kind of weird. And then there's the very, very ugly side, all the parasite, all the scammers. You know, there are a lot of people trying to get authors to, to sign on, saying they could do certain things that they can't. A lot of people, out to just to get the money for you, or I could turn your book into a movie, you know, and nobody ever heard of these people, stuff like that. It's a lot of scammers out there. So that's the hard part, and nobody ever told me. I learned, and I kind of now I know how to go through it, filter it all out. But then it was, not that I really got taken, but I got approached with a lot of craziness.
You've clearly, it sounds like you steered clear mostly of scammers. Is there any particular instance where you're in the middle of whatever the interaction is and you're like, come on, man? Like it like something that was just so over the top, like, are you serious?
Yeah, you get a lot of, they say, we turn this into a movie or whatever, but we need you to put down the first $10,000 or something, you know, or they'll pipe you up, how great, the material is, or they'll throw something off and you'll catch it, maybe, they'll be talking about or combining books or something, yeah, this book and this book, or this book can do this, just like you said, and they haven't read it or something. You listen long enough, you can pick it up.
Question number 3. What's your go-to order at your favorite hometown restaurant?
I guess when I'm more relaxed, kind of feel like I'm accomplished or whatever. Kind of steak, potatoes, okay. Just anytime it'll be a burger and fries. And I like fries and ketchup. So I'm simple. I'm simple.
Who's got the best burger? And who makes the best steak for you?
Oh man, small town where I'm from, the town called Columbus, Mississippi. So there's no one I can credit because this one of the chain that everybody here. This is Applebee's. But just over and all, just to me, just a great burger. And then and then nobody told me to say this. I like Wendy's burgers. I like Wendy's burgers. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Everybody's got their favorite, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Question number 4. What are you curious about?
When I travel, I don't know where you're located, but almost everywhere I go, I want to learn something about that place. And it really come from growing up poor, small town, ain't got money to go nowhere, ain't never been nowhere. So it just is so weird. It's like I could go to, we'll say Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm like, okay, what's great about this town? Or I want to find out the origin or what kind of statue they have or whatever. It's weird. I do it all the time, and the same thing when I meet people. It's like after a while, I'm like, where are you from? And then I kind of want, I find I try to be respectful the way you ask, not just just not in an insulting way, but kind of like, hey, where you from and what made you come here? And underneath it's because it took a lot for me to leave where I came from and and propel myself forward. So I kind of want to pull it out of other people that made them do it. And it's weird, but I can't stop doing it.
When's the last time you're pretty sure that you propelled somebody in that way?
Yeah. A couple of months ago. I'm in Iraq right now, so we all coming from different places. And this one guy, he's from Detroit. And talking to him, he grew up, in the crack era. His dad was maybe a pimp, right? So he kind of had it rough. So even still, I'm like, okay, what got you into the military? What got you here? Why you pick this field? It just, I don't know. I can't stop doing it. You know?
Question number 5. What should I ask you that I didn't know enough to ask?
Wow. You stop, that, believe it or not. Huh, let's see. Let's see. I like movies. I like comedies. Even when I have writer's block, I do weird things. And one of the weird things I do, and it's I watch these dating shows. And one of the shows I watch, and they give me a hard time. It's the Kendra G show. Well, not necessarily Kendra G, is Single by Choice. And then that's another one now I start watching Ask an Old Man with Paul Aiken. And I don't know why. I mean, I have a fiance, it's like, but I watch these shows and I watch, what they say about women and it's kind of like, I say, I must have missed this or whatever, because I was once married. I'm like, I guess I really didn't understand these things about women. So it takes me away and then all of a sudden I'm ready to write. It's weird.
How would you describe men's urban fiction to someone who's never read it before?
Men or urban fiction. I realize women love to read salacious books. I've heard it in high school coming up, and I just thought, they're a little off. No, it's a thing, you know. And just playing the writing, the nitty gritty, and especially the romantic part, they love it. Most of the women read urban fiction. However, you write, you gotta kind of pander to that audience. Mine, believe it or not, is there. It's a combination of comedy and salacious. The romance is there. So that gritty of, kind of somewhat of a street life. I would say kind of urban. Because I talked about stuff that happened like with Charlie Mo. He get beat up in both books. Um, It just bringing that street life to the story, I would say makes it urban fiction.
Question number 6. If you could create a new holiday, what would it commemorate?
Muhammad Ali. I'm a big Muhammad Ali fan. I just like he stood on this square and you know, as you rise, as you succeed, you're more alone than you realize. Hopefully you got family or whatever. And Ali did, but you go out, you go do things, you interact with people, and you're still kind of more alone. His conviction had to make him so alone because his family was saying, don't do this, be careful, watch your back. And he still, as we say, stood on his square. He was about his first about God and he was about his people. And being about his people when he really didn't have to be. Because he was rich, you know, and he sacrificed his money, life. They never played, but people trying to kill him, wanted to kill him. Nobody liked him at the time. You don't hear enough of that. Even us were wanted to shut him up because it would make us feel safe. And I got that from my dad. He never said it, but I knew. And let me expand on that a little bit. I'm kind of telling my age. Ah, we hear about the civil rights movement, right? But most of the people who was out in the streets getting beat up and a water hose didn't benefit. It was those people who did that. Oh, we don't want to get in no trouble. We're gonna, this could be messy. Those people that benefit, okay, which is unfair, right? Which is totally unfair. So, same thing about Ali. Those people who wouldn't go out there was kind of like against him. Mind you, they're the one that benefit even to this day, or probably passed on. But Ali, the people who are doing the marchers, they're the one, got maimed and beat up and water hose and bitten by dogs. And Ali was kind of that guy who was taking all those bites. And even in the ring, too, some of the people he faced, because I think about it myself. I love sport. I'm like, to get in the ring knowing this guy probably can kill you, which is George Foreman or even a Joe Frazier, and figure out how to overcome people who could kill you. That's quite a feat. And I love the guy. So I'm telling him, but I love the guy. But yeah, I would love for his birthday, January 17th, to be a national holiday. Yeah, I gotta make my pilgrimage on way to his museum there. That's on my bucket list. And like I say, the guy was amazing. He didn't have to. It's like even, I tell people, I said, man, if he was able to do commercials, like the people that had it, I said he would have blown it away. And even then, like he could have been so bigger than he was. And he sacrificed all that for his conviction.
One last question. Why create?
I like to entertain. And it may be underneath the attention I never got. So, because my older brother, he was, the charmer, and he could dance. While my brother danced, and they like, just snapping to his beat. So no one really wanted to, I guess, hear or see me. Okay, unless it was something educational. So maybe it's my way of hating, my way of showing, hey, I can entertain. You know.
Right on. That's cool. Harold, thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking time out to talk to a perfect stranger.
Thank you, T. I appreciate it. And I hope everybody like and share and whenever they see my content. Like I said, you can come over Facebook on Messenger or Instagram and DM me, or you can become a subscriber on my website and send a message. I'll respond.
Thank you once again for joining us, whether it's your first time or this time for the 6 questions. If you like the show, tell the world. Please jump on your podcast app and leave a 5-star review and tell your friends. That's the best way to grow the show, and more can join the conversation. And until next time, see it, hear it, speak it, live.